Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Atlanta Falcons Today. The NFL Draft was a couple of weeks ago, right? I think Atlanta had a really good draft. However, not only did they improve with new players, there are a lot of post-draft winners on this roster. Players who were already on the roster, already, not rookie draft picks, who really benefited from what the Atlanta Falcons were able to do at the NFL Draft. And so we're going to get into my 5 biggest winners of the Falcons in terms of overall roster following the NFL Draft in today's video. Starting at 5 being like the least of the winners, right? Still number 5 on the list. And then down to number 1, who's like the number 1 winner. So stay tuned for that. Drop a like down below, by the way, if you guys are pumped that I'm back from vacation. I was in Europe for 9 days. We did Spain, we did France, the French coast, we did Budapest, we did Greece. I mean, we had a really good time overall. And so if you guys are happy that I'm back from vacation, though, and no longer having fun over there, but getting videos done for you guys, drop a like down below. I'm pumped to be back as well. All right, coming in at number 5, one of your top 5 biggest winners for the Falcons the NFL Draft, Olamide Zaccheaus. Say, Thomas, why Olamide Zaccheaus? Well, because you no longer have to worry about him being the number 1 wide receiver. If you would have rolled into the start of week 1 with Olamide Zaccheaus as your number 1 wide receiver on this depth chart, I mean, the pressure would have been immense. We would have ripped him up and down. He's nowhere near, close to being a number 1 wide receiver. Then they drafted Drake London. And Drake London now is your number 1 wide receiver, and all the pressure, all the eyeballs go to him. If you're Olamide Zaccheaus, you're right where you were last season as a number 3 guy, number 2 guy who, can overachieve and win a lot of hearts and minds in Atlanta, or stay the same and kind of just be like, look past, like, oh, okay, no big deal. He's a massive winner in my book just because they added 1 wide receiver to go ahead and take the pressure off. Drake London, again, number 8 overall. That's a big shoes to fill in terms of where he was taken. But Zaccheaus now can sit back and say, all right, London, all the interviews, all the spotlights, all the radio segments, if you have fun with that, I'm going to focus on being a wide receiver. And maybe he has kind of a Russell Gage 2020 year where Russell Gage had like 90 catches or whatever. Maybe Zaccheaus does, maybe he doesn't. But he is a big winner now that he's no longer having to worry about being the number 1 receiver on this Falcon passing attack. Pin comment down below, answer this question. Who is the Falcons' biggest winner after the draft? Like, overall biggest winner. Now, we're going to get to my number 1 biggest winner here in just 1 second, but who is the Falcons' biggest winner? Let me know down below right now. All right, number 4 on our list here, we work our way up. Kaleb McGary. Kaleb McGary absolutely won after the NFL Draft, and here's why. McGary essentially gets 1 more shot at right tackle. Now, they could have drafted a right tackle in round 2. Like, they could have said, hey, we don't trust Kaleb McGary. He's in a final year of his rookie deal. We're not going to exercise his 5th-year option. Like, get him out of here, draft his replacement. But no. Like, they literally said, okay, listen, we're going to take a guard, which might make some competition. Jalen Mayfield could move back over there. But very clearly, McGary is your week 1 starter, your day 1 starter this offseason. And so he gets 1 final shot to prove that he was worth the first-round pick that they trade up to go ahead and get him for, trade back into the first round. And so because they didn't take any sort of offensive lineman until later on in the draft, and it was a guard, like way later on in the draft, McGary definitely is a winner here. I think he should be excited that he gets 1 final shot to be the starter in the ATL. Will he actually be good? Who knows? Jalen Mayfield was drafted to be his, competition at right tackle until he had to play left guard. And so now you get a little more of a push there as well with Jalen Mayfield going back to his normal position, I should say, at right tackle. But I think it was a win for McGary. They didn't draft another tackle, and he now can be the number 1 guy and hopefully prove that he's worthy of the number 1 position. All right, if you guys like our channel, go down below and subscribe. We're very close to 7K subs here. Like, we are almost at 7,000 subscribers who want to go ahead and follow our content and our daily stuff here on the channel. If you guys like the channel, like the Falcons, go down below and hit that red subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it. Plenty more offseason content. I mean, stuff can happen and will happen in the next couple of months. 120 days to the start of the NFL season. We'll cover it all leading up to it and beyond here on the channel. All right, coming in at number 3 of our winners after the NFL Draft, Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, massive winner. Kyle Pitts, again, it's like the Olamide Zaccheaus take just times, tenfold. Kyle Pitts is going to have a Pro Bowl year this year. Now, he might have had it regardless of if they took Drake London at number 8 overall, but now that you have Drake London there at number 8 overall, again, pressure comes off. And if Drake London plays as good as we hope he's going to play, not a lot of double teams for Kyle Pitts. And you saw what he can do when he doesn't have double teams. What happened last year after the whole Calvin Ridley saga of, will he play, will he not play? It was essentially Kyle Pitts and nobody else out there. And so you could double Kyle Pitts. And a lot of teams did that so often. Like, it was insane how many double teams he faced as a rookie tight end. Yet still had almost the best rookie season in terms of receiving numbers in NFL history. We just almost broke Mike Dick's record. Didn't do it, but very close. Now he has a number 1 receiver on the outside. And again, as long as Drake London plays well and make sure that you have to keep his safety at least looking that way, you're going to have one-on-one opportunities for Kyle Pitts all day long. And I think he's going to benefit from that immensely. I think he's going to have a massive year 2. It was a big learning process in year 1. Obviously, a big change going from Florida over to the National Football League. All the expectation, number 4 overall. I think he's going to have a breakout year in 2022. For sure, 1,000 yards. And I'm looking at 8 touchdowns at least. I think he's going to have a big number, especially in the red zone, as he was not utilized that much last season. You guys drafting Kyle Pitts in your fantasy football league? If you are, type Y down below for yes. If you're not, I'm confused why not, then type N down below for no. But I think Pitts is going to be a first or second round guy in most fantasy football leagues, and honestly, it makes sense. I think that you guys know the reason why. All right, number 2 on our list here, we keep going up, Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett, I think, probably watched the Falcons offseason, most notably the draft, and finally just sat back and said, thank goodness. I mean, finally, Grady Jarrett has some help. I mean, he finally has the help that he has not had virtually his entire career in the ATL. Now, does this guarantee that Grady Jarrett is going to pop off just because now they have, they got a pass rusher out of Penn State in round 2, they have Lorenzo Carter, got another one in round 4. Does it guarantee it? No. But he at least is going to face less double teams. Like, you would at least assume he's going to face less double teams. Again, much like Kyle Pitts, you're watching a guy, best player at his position on the Falcons roster, and that's all you got to focus on. You line up, you're an offensive lineman, all right, where's Grady Jarrett? Everybody else doesn't matter. I mean, no one else was getting any sort of pass rush help or pass rush pressure from a defensive side of the football last year. Now, if you can get some pressure from, Penn State, the Penn State guy taken in round 2, or from the guy taken in round 4, or from Lorenzo Carter on the outside, it helps out Grady Jarrett a bunch. I think you're finally going to see what Grady Jarrett is capable of as one of the better D tackles in this league once he gets this help on the outside, because no longer he's going to have double teams. And maybe the numbers aren't going to be double-digit sacks because he's a defensive tackle, but I do think he's going to have a very, very, very good season. I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do with the help that, again, he hasn't had virtually his entire career in the National Football League. Now, I mentioned Kyle Pitts earlier. You guys got his jersey yet? Like, have you picked up a Kyle Pitts official jersey yet? If you haven't, what are you doing? Go pick it up right now. Chatsports.com/Pitts is the link that you need. You see it up on your screen right now. It'll also be down below in our description box. Again, pick up your Falcons number 8 Kyle Pitts jersey. If you guys go down below and grab that, that way you can be rocking what could be the best tight end ever, hopefully, by the time his career is done. Get his jersey now as the offseason is underway. All right, biggest winners. It's not a player. It's the coaching staff. The coaching staff is the biggest winner of this offseason. They had a very good draft, and now you're going to see a lot of, I would say, potential for Arthur Smith to prove why he was taken as the first head coach hired during that, season of 8 during the offseason 2 off seasons ago. Smith, he's inked his stay for the long run. Not only did he have a very, very good draft, and obviously he has all these new pieces to work with, but he also got a quarterback. And so you're not going to fire Arthur Smith after one season, or I should say after this season, even if Marcus Mariota stinks. You are going to keep Arthur Smith because he now has his quarterback, and so he's bought himself 3 or 4 more years, I think, as the head coach in the ATL, barring, epic collapses and the guy just absolutely loses every single game that he coaches. But I think that he now has not the best roster ever, and it's still improving, but he is inked to stay for the long term. He has some pieces, and he has a young quarterback to hopefully go ahead and grow into the next great starter in the ATL. Big win for Arthur Smith. Likewise, Dean Pease. Dean Pease has at least something to work with now. He had nothing last year. He talked about in a lot of interviews, local radio stations, Falcons.com and stuff. He mentioned that he's working with a lot of guys that can't figure out his defense, and his defense is very complicated. He needs some, serious people out there to go ahead and figure these things out. He has some playmakers now. He has more pass rushers. He got a new linebacker. He got a new cornerback. I think that Dean Pease is going to finally be able to show why he was considered one of the great defensive minds in the National Football League and why we thought that we had a really good hire whenever he was taken, obviously, alongside Arthur Smith this past season. So I'm excited to see what these coaching staff can do. Now, they're not going to go crazy and win a Super Bowl as it currently is constructed, but they have the building blocks now to have a successful building year and then a really, really potentially exciting year in 2022. Who do you guys think is the biggest winner from the Falcons draft? We end today's video. Who is it? Mine were Zaccheaus 5, McGary 4, Pitts 3, Grady Jarrett 2, and the coaching staff, basically head coach and defensive coordinator. Those are my 5 biggest winners. What is the biggest winner, or who is the biggest winner from the Falcons draft? Let me know what you guys think down below right now. All right, ultimate today on our Atlanta Falcons news and rumor video. Again, I'm back. Drop a like down below if you guys are pumped to have me back covering the Falcons here. I appreciate all the guys filling in for me during my vacation. Give this video a thumbs up. We're here, obviously, to do plenty more content coming up. And be sure to subscribe because, let me tell you, yes, it's the offseason, but things can happen. They can trade for people. They can sign people. You can have all sorts of moves here, back and forth, getting us ready for the NFL season. Some breakdowns of position groups would be very, very important. Coverage of all the OTAs. We're going to cover it all here on the channel. So if you guys appreciate what we do do here, you like the channel, go down below and subscribe, but also hit the notification bell, or it's like right next to the subscribe button, somewhere down below me. I don't know where it is, somewhere over here, I think. Hit the notification bell, that way you are notified whenever we drop our latest videos, because they're going to be coming hot and heavy. I mean, mailbag stuff, news, rumors, position breakdowns, depth chart stuff, all coming up here next couple of days, weeks, and months. So go down below and subscribe. For Atlanta Falcons Today, I'm Thomas Mott. Ultimately, we have signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.